I just got to work today. It's Wednesday, the 23rd of June, 2010. Normally don't do videos at work, but I just need to make one real quick because I think time is of the essence. And someone commented on my YouTube video about the web pod and possible terrible news, I think was the title. And one of the things I'm talking about is an event that the webbot talks about, in which a female politician basically gets embarrassed on TV and red in the face, and her minions or her her little crew also does too. And I put a link on there on my other video that shows just such an event happening like 2-3 weeks ago. I couldn't believe it. I got home and I saw it and the news was playing, and I was like, oh my God, I think this is the female politician. I thought that anyways. As soon as the report said female politician, I thought, oh, it's got to be Nancy Pelosi. I can't stand that woman. I don't think anybody can. So that was the one thing. I said, maybe that's the hit. The other thing the report said was that sometime around the same time, a little bit later, whatever, but very close to the same time, you're going to hear about a ranking general using cuss words. Well, that's kind of what I said, because the report kind of said that too. But the real word the report uses is Fox Pass, F-A-U-X space P-A-S. And someone sent the definition of that to me this morning in one of the comments. And I guess the roundabout definition isn't necessarily that it's a cuss word. It's basically an etiquette or a way of socially doing things that's improper. You don't do that. And what this General McChrystal has done is absolutely that. You don't do that. You do not be a ranking general as high in the military as you are, leading the freaking U.S. military, and then write some little article or be posted an article on the magazine where you're basically bad-mouthing the commander-in-chief of the United States, the president. You gotta be kidding me, right? Not that I blame the guy, but that's absolutely the definition of Fox Pass, I believe, to the T, come to think of it. So I'm going to read you real quick 2 sections of the Webbot report, and the second part is this exact part that I was making the first video on, but the first part just has a couple interesting piece of information on it, so I'm just going to start there. And it starts off with the hyperinflation. The military and the law enforcement personnel will become a serious issue for some communities as they try to absorb the influx of idle hands. There are also subsets that show a slowly rising visibility of the former U.S. of A. military as squatters in the plush ghost towns of some cities that have overbuilt residential and commercial real estate. The idea here is that the discharge due to circumstances and having nowhere else to go, some of the former military and their families will be an organized, militarized squatting movement that will begin to have national implications in early 2011. This area is not a happy linguistic area of the data. Be advised that this area presents lots of data for all the mistakes that will be made around the issues of massive unemployment, a radicalized through religion, underclass of military corps personnel, and an empire dying through economic destruction and hidden control structures over the military and civilian government. On an ancient map, this area would be marked as "Here be dread beasties." And seeing the data, none would disagree. Dread beasties indeed. Alright, here's the next part. That's what this is about. The unemployment monster will beset the minion-class politicians at all levels from state through federal government beginning in early spring. As the year progresses, an interestingly visible level of panic will be observable on the faces presented by the media to provide public discourse on the subject of unemployment. Noting that the U.S. of A. will not be alone in this trend, the panic on the faces of politicians will not be a good sign. The data sets indicate that in spring, at least 2 incidents of panic sweats by politicians will be caught on video and will be alternative media fodder for weeks. The panic sweats will be most embarrassing for the female minion politician and her staff due to the change in speech that is prompted. I believe that was the Nancy Pelosi thing. I'm pretty sure. And again, the webbot's not perfect. Sometimes the words it uses are close, but not dead on. You know, it's a piece of software, so it's not perfect. The panic visible in politicians will escalate over summer and fall, and will include some Fox Pass, and then it says mild bots / bad words. on the part of a ranking general here in the USA. This will be a very, very, very important temporal marker for the aware observer, which is you and I. Following this visible marker of bad words, significant displacements can be expected to begin occurring for large parts of the populous US of A due to several manifesting circumstances. Oh, how about a massive oil spill that's unstoppable? How about hurricanes getting ready to pop in this way? How about the toxic waste that this oil spill is creating? The Corset 9500 dispersant they're dumping on it, it's going to get sucked up into the air. It's going to rain down toxic rain probably, who knows. So it says displacements can be expected to begin occurring for large parts of the USA due to several manifesting circumstances. If ever there was a need for a bug out bag, the days following this temporal marker will be it. And again, let's not forget, and literally a couple weeks from now, from right now, within 2 weeks, approximately, is July 11th, which is the next WebBot hot date for some kind of significant event to happen. They're not 100% sure what it will be. It could be the economy, it could be the stock market crashing, it could be the oil disaster getting worse, could be the war with Iran from Israel and the USA or whatever, starting that nonsense. Could be that. So it's possible, well, it's possible there's a lot of other things that it could be too, but this is days away. These two temporal markers have basically just been hit. And now we have this General McChrystal guy who had to fill this language of Fox Pos. I mean, it's dead on. And I'm thinking the whole time, oh, it's a cuss word, it's a cuss word. And it was Obama when he said, I'm going to kick guys at BP's ass. And they played that for a couple weeks on the media, making fun of him. He could be a ranking general, for God's sakes. He's the leader of all in the U.S., so I thought, well, that's the two temporal markers. They happened like days apart, so that was it for me. And then 2 weeks later or whatever, now we have a real live highest ranking general you can imagine with not cuss words, but absolutely the definition of Fox Boss. Doing something you just don't do socially, whatever, normally. And that's not what you do when you're talking to your military leader. So, you know, the commander-in-chief. One way or the other, you can take Obama as being the guy or this McChrystal. They're both meeting together. They're both could be used in this instance. They both happen within 2 weeks. This is the event. It has to be. Therefore, be prepared to leave by the tens of millions. According to the latest report, tens of millions will be fleeing north above the 40-degree latitude, I guess, or longitude, whatever. Could be the oil. It's got, in my eyes, it's got something to do with this oil, and they're going to do something. Maybe it's going to cause deaths, and all of a sudden people are going to flip out and get scared and just start leaving. They're not going to be forcefully evacuated. They're probably just going to leave. Is my guess, but we'll see. Talk to you later.